So viewers, we welcome you to yet another episode of The Reject. Today we are all the way in Laikipia County, at a place called Wiomereri. We are at the home of none other than Reverend Jacob Wachira wa Kimotho. Now, Reverend Kimotho, as you're going to hear, started and has a unique ministry, having started as an AIPCA minister and then ventured into PCA ministry. So let us listen to how he transitioned from being an AIPCA minister to a PCA minister. So welcome as we continue to listen to the story. Viewers, welcome to the third season of The Legends as we continue with the story and the stories of retired ministers who have served the church and retired honorably. So welcome, Reverend. Take a minute and say hi to the viewers.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers. I'm Reverend Jacob Wachira Kimotho, and where we are in Laikipia County, and this is Laikipia East constituency. And in Wiomereri. And this is in the PCA church. This is like a Ken West Presbytery, Wiomereri parish.
Okay.
And I am a retired minister. I returned the year 2009. And by that time I was working in Meru. In Men's House Presbytery, Kenoro parish. And since the year 2009, we stay here with my wife. And I am saved, and I love Jesus as my personal Savior.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Reverend, for welcoming us and also introducing yourself to the viewers. Can you take a moment and take us through your journey into ministry, how you came into the ministry before you were ordained?
Okay. Before I was ordained, as a young boy, I was educated at Creative Primary School. Then I went for further education at Mudwaini Secondary School. After completing Mudwaini, then that's where I joined the ministry in Independent Church, Churches of Kenya. Because in Creative, the church of the Independent, it was a PCA. But in 1965, it was taken back to Independent Church, and because of we are the residents of that place, we joined Independent Churches. Okay. That's we became members of that church. And because I had already completed the school, I joined the church as a church leader, as a youth leader, and a nursery school teacher. Because we had started a small nursery school. And by that time, it was very difficult to understand what nursery means. Because we know about the church school, but not in nursery school.
Yes.
So, the young boys and girls, they were coming to the church only to be taught how to sing, how to dance, church, but not in the class.
Yes.
So it was very difficult for me to introduce the nursery school. But later, I joined the Creative Independent Theological Bible School, and I was trained there for 3 years. And after taking my first year, my second year, I was promoted to be a teacher, not to be a student. Then I became a teacher. And by that time, they were not giving anything. You only teach, you only go and preach, you only go and baptize people, you only go and do that, but you are not given any coin because there was none. Back to 1968, that's when I joined the ministry. 1989, the president was there, the late Kenyatta, introduced something we call it chai.
That cannot be 1987, 60s.
There was 69.
Yes.
And because I was saved, all other people went to Gatondo for the cup of tea, which is we call it a muma. I didn't go myself. So I got in trouble because all my elders, all my ministers, they went to Gatondo and I didn't go. Now I'm the teacher. How shall I teach them? And yet they don't agree with the PCA. But I stayed through. Yeah, and even my parents they went to Gatondo and they took oath. But myself I didn't take. I stayed in 1970. I was ordained as a church minister in independent church.
Yes.
And I was ordained at the time when I got married myself, 1970. Early January 24. And from there, I started to have a problem with the church because they don't agree that to say that you are saved. They were fighting against the salvation because their mentality was taken back because they were freedom fighters. So I was telling them, now we are not in a time of fighting freedom fighting, but now we are the fighting there. We stayed there. That's 70, 71, 72, 73. I called the bishop. The church decided because the current bishop was not qualified to be a bishop, but due to the political system or the political class which was there, he was taken was ordained to be the bishop. And I am the teacher, so I was qualified more than him. So they decided to ordain me as a bishop and him to be taken to be the archbishop. That is late Kahihia.
Oh, wow.
Kahihia. Kahihia was taken to be the archbishop. Now they prepared to prepare Wachira
to be the bishop.
To be the bishop.
Yes.
And take the leadership of the church. And because of that, myself, I refused. Because I was young, we have about two children. I told the bishop to come to my home. And he came, we met with my wife and my mother. I told him that I want to leave this church. Because there is a lot of fight against the salvation. And I'm pushing the salvation. So, give me time to go. Then we prayed, and he told me that we gave him 3 days for him to go and take time to pray. And even today, the year 2003,
yes.
the prayers were not answered even today.
But he died.
And he died. He died. So from there, 1974, we left Independent Church.
Yes.
We joined the PCA. And I joined PCA not as a minister. No.
As a member.
As a member. But the problem was, now, all the elders of PCA and the minister who was there, Reverend Wayaki, they know me as a church minister.
Samuel.
Samuel Wayaki.
Okay.
Samuel Wayaki, he came to my home with the session and the Women's Guild, and they received us. Now we became members of PCA. 1977, it is when I was invited for an interview to be the minister of PCA. Then, there we went to Nyamanchaki. We were about 15 who were sitting for the panel. But me, myself, me and Reverend Daniel and Reverend Kavue.
Dr. Daniel Kanyari?
Yeah.
Okay.
we qualified, we three, to go to St. Paul.
Which Kavue? Kavue?
James, yes.
Okay.
We three.
Okay.
Me, Daniel and Kavue, we three. And when we went to Nairobi for the final interview, we still qualified. But the church had, with the moderator who was there, John Gato, decided that we should have, the PCA should have a team to be recruited to be inspectorate of schools. So me, Kafui, and the others 15, we were selected to go to Presbyterian College to be trained in inspectorate. It was called special ministry on schools and hospitals. And Daniel went to St. Paul. We completed 78 and 79. In 1980, I was posted to Tumutumu, Kiverigwe Parish. I was the first minister in Kirinyaga for PCA because Kiverigwe was at the Kiamwangi. It was Kiamwangi Parish. Now they have created the Kiverigwe Parish, separated from Kiamwangi. And that's 1980. 1981, I was selected to be the moderator of the presbytery of Tumutumu.
Now, Let me take you a step back.
Yeah.
Did you have to be ordained again?
Yes.
Okay.
I was trained.
Yes.
I went to the presence of PCA.
Yes.
So I was taken as a member,
Yes.
not an ordained minister.
Yes.
And I was posted to Kiveregwe. I stayed for about 3 months. Then I was licensed. After 1 month, I was ordained in Kiveregwe. From there, my first posting is Kiveregwe. Then from Kiveregwe, I stayed in Kiveregwe for 5 years. Then I come to Nyeri Presbytery. Then this we call it Ken West Parish. This one, this Ken West Parish.
Yes.
I stayed there, and from there, I have gone many parishes because from Kiveregwe, Ken West Parish, Nyeri Presbytery. From Ken West, I went to Gatondo Presbytery, and Darugo Parish. I stayed further for 4 years. Then I was taken back to Tomotomo and Narumoro Parish.
Okay.
Then from Narumoro Parish, I went to Nakuru as a hospital chaplain. Then from Nakuru, I went to Mogoda Parish. From Mogoda Parish, then to Odhaya. From Odhaya Parish to Kirimara. From Kirimara, Nakuru. I was staying 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 4 years, 5 years. Then finally, I was posted to those immense Kenoro Parish. That's where I retired in the year 2009. And since that time, but today, I'm a retired minister.
Now, you retired while you were in Menti.
Yeah.
And the tradition of the church is that you are taken closer home so that you can prepare for retirement.
Yeah.
But
there was a struggle there because when they transferred me from Kenoro to come to Ndaragwa, here, Ndaragwa is near my home. Those people of Iment and of Kenoro Parish, they went to see the moderator of the General Assembly, and they appealed, and my transfer was cancelled.
So now, you, unlike other ministers who retire close home, it didn't happen with you. You retired while away.
I retired when I was away.
Are you a member of the Imment South Presbytery?
No, I transferred. I transferred from Imment. I came to Ken West. Okay. And I was received.
Oh, that's good.
And even 2014, I was the in charge of Wiomelili Parish. Okay. Because they had no minister. I stayed for 1.5 years. Yeah.
You know, you have a very interesting story. I had heard that part of the story about you having started as an AIPCA minister. Yeah. But now you have brought it out clearly. How did you find the transition from being an AIPCA minister to a PCA minister?
What you transferred there, you know, that independent churches, you couldn't be accepted when you say that you are saved. No. Okay. Because their mentality is that those people from Scotland, they are the one who are fighting them during the emergency. Yes. So they couldn't agree that someone could join independent churches from PCA. But it is easy from independent to PCA. Yeah.
So you didn't have, and you have never had any problem with your AIPCA background when you're ministering in PCA?
And even today, if I just go and visit their home, they receive me very much. Okay. Because I left that church because of salvation. Okay. Nothing else. I was not divorced.
So they did not discipline you.
Yeah. Okay. They didn't discipline me. And even now, and even today, I have retired. Yeah. If they have some occasion, they invite me. But when I talk about that I am retired, they are not happy about it.
Why?
Because I should not retire.
Oh, if they don't retire,
even there was last year there was a bishop who visited me here, and he said that if I could agree,
you could go back to active ministry.
I can go be there and be
Actually.
the bishop there. I said no. And they told me that I go and study their school. They said no. Traditional, I'm a PCA and I'm not going to change.
Yes. And you're comfortable being a retired minister.
Yeah, a retired minister.
Okay.
And I receive a lot of respect. Yeah.
So now you've been involved in some form of teaching and other issues, either in the church or elsewhere. How comes you chose specifically the ministry? You never went into teaching.
I did go because I was feeling as preaching, teaching in churches to be my call.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been happy with that?
I'm happy about it.
Okay. Wow, that's an interesting story.
Yeah.
And you have mentioned about the various places that you served. And I'm thinking about your movement from Kirimara to Nakuru.
Yeah.
And then from Nakuru to Meru.
From Nakuru to
back to
Kiganjo.
Kiganjo in Kiganjo. And then from Kiganjo to Meru.
To Meru.
So you were taken to Meru when you were actually closing in on retirement.
Yeah. That was the problem because one, the moderator of the General Assembly was not happy with me because when he transferred me from Kirimara to Nakuru, I collected all my cow because I got a land there. Yeah. And when he came there with some visitors from America, someone was Dr. Brown, somebody. They were coming to give us water there. And when they come there, we talked through the churches, we visited the church, we visited the schools. We came back to my home. And when we were taking tea, I just removed the gown, I went back to the house, and I go to find milk. And when the moderator came and met me milking, he was very furious about it. And he accused me and said that you didn't come here to be a shepherd. Now you have got cows, also you don't preach here.
That's
why he moved me from there to Kiganjo.
Yes.
And from Kiganjo, they have a lot of dispute with him because Kiganjo did not vote him for the second term.
So who are you talking about?
Gedi.
Yeah, bishop now, yes.
He's a bishop now. I call him bishop.
Yeah, he's a bishop. Not he's a bishop. He's a bishop. Yes.
He's a bishop, yeah.
Yes, okay.
I met him somewhere in Nairobi, and he told us that he's going to buy a cup of tea. I told him no, we are busy.
So Mchungaji, you have had a lengthy ministry, a checkered one, you know, between the PCA and AIPCA and all those other issues. But can you share with us some of the challenges that you have experienced in the ministry?
Well, some challenges, you know, when you come from this stage to go to the other stage, there are some problems there. Because now, I come from independent, and the independent, they don't talk about salaries. You see?
Yes.
They don't have any theological background. They don't have even schools and whatever. Now I come to the PCA. PCA have got schools, have got churches, well-learned elders, and well-learned ministers. So I must feel that from there to come to the other class, there must be a challenge. But actually, I joined the highest class of PCA. And I say myself, I'm learned now. I want to say that I was not learned.
Yes.
And, you know, when I went to the training, I was taught by Dr. Gatere. You know, Dr. Gatere was my psychiatrist. And we were taking the psychology. But when I was trained as one of the psychiatrists by Dr. Gatere, he taught us that we should not deny ourselves all the rights we should have. So that's why I say that there are many challenges, like you are not getting salary, now you are getting salary. Now the salary that you are getting, it is not enough for your family. Because, you know, when I left the college, we were given 250,000. No. It is 2,500 a salary of a month. That's the salary that you are given.
That was a lot of money that time.
By that time.
Yes.
But today, nobody can be employed for 2,500 today. So, being from living the smallest salary and the highest amount is there is a struggle there. But actually, we agree with whatever it is in. Yeah.
So now, and what are the, okay, you talked about the challenges. What are the various joys that you have experienced as in the process of your ministry? There must be some key issues that have made you feel that I have been happy with the ministry that I've undertaken.
Now, you know, one, I enjoyed the PCA. Because, you know, when I was in the independent churches, I was not to be able to visit schools. I was not able to visit the hospitals. I was not able to visit churches of different churches. But since I joined the PCA, I took that privilege that I am trained. Now I can work in the hospital, I can visit the doctors, I can visit the other churches,
and the schools.
And even schools. And even there was some time when I was staying in Central Rouge. I was working at Madari Mental Hospital.
Okay.
Because I was doing a practical there. And I enjoyed. But that privilege I couldn't take when I was in the independent churches. Because I was not trained. But in the PCA I was trained. And when I went to hospital, provincial hospital Nakuru, and as a chaplain, I was very happy because I was educated by PCA, and I see that the responsibility I'm taking in the hospital is, I was proud of my church, because they have trained me. Yeah.
So how did you find the transition from parochial ministry into non-parochial ministry, chaplaincy in Nakuru?
You know, I was not requested that you do want to be a chaplain. I was not requested. Do you want to be as a parish minister? I was not requested. It is only the committee to take me, go to the chaplain, go to the parish. If I was asked,
yes,
I could remain the parish.
Okay. So did you, how long were you a chaplain in Nakuru?
1.5 years.
Yeah. So is there something maybe you would recommend to maybe the church leaders and the posting team prior to sending somebody
in fact, I would recommend for our young minister to be posted in the hospitals, because there is a lot of challenges there. You know, when I was doing interview, when I was doing some interview in Kimotho, the question I was asking those who are to be trained, will you be effective in your work? Yes. What will you be doing? I will be faithful, I will be faithful, I will be faithful. And after someone is trained, you see, he or he started accusing the patient. You see? Bad language. To me, I would recommend those to be trained for the chaplaincy to remain free in chaplaincy. Those who remain in the parish, they remain in the parish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you acknowledge their challenges in transitioning from parochial
But if today you are posted to Nakuru to be the chaplain, 1 year, the second year, parish, it will be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So what is your honest opinion about the transfers in the PCA church?
Well, transfer in the PCA, one, is good. Because you have completed 5 years or 3 years.
But many are the times that you did not complete 5 years.
Many.
Yes.
Many. But with
so you start with 5 years, you would want it to be 5 years?
I would stand with 5 years.
Okay.
Because first and second year, you will know how to understand these people. Then second, third, and fourth, fifth, you will be able to work for that parish and for the church. Because you know somebody, you know whatever you know.
The people.
But now, if you just go for the first year, second year you are transferred.
You come as a stranger, you leave as a stranger.
You come as a stranger, you go as a stranger.
Okay. And you don't know the people.
And even some people do not remember you.
How about the movement from one maybe province or the region? Now you were in Kirimara, Rift Valley, Nakuru, Meru. How do you find that kind of
it's not good.
Okay.
It's not good. Because when I go to Meru, you have to stay for a number of years before you understand the language itself, see? And to know the characteristics of these people. If you remain here, let's say somebody is left from Meru to come to Nyeri, you have to stay even 1.5 years or 2 before knowing the characteristics of these people. You know.
Cultural dynamics.
Yeah, so it's good when someone is posted somewhere for 5 years, unless it's a matter of discipline. It is good to complete 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you are a senior minister, a retired minister, the veterans and the peace here.
Yeah, we want to
How did you prepare for retirement?
Well, with me, I was a lady. Because when I attained the age of 65, at 64 I started knowing that from 65 I'll have to go home. So I prepared myself.
How did you prepare?
I bought a land in Nairutia, and I bought a land in Moteto. I bought a plot, 2 plots at Malina, knowing that I'll just go there. And when I left Meru, you know, I had about 10 cows. I come, I sold them. I bought new 4 for a zero grazing. So I didn't struggle very much.
Okay.
No.
So how do you find life in retirement?
In retirement, life is very good when you are prepared.
When you're prepared.
When you are prepared. If you are not prepared, you just learn a lot of problems because, you know, you are used to have salary. Now you don't have salary. You have got young kids. Where are you to fight them? You don't have a land. So it is good when you are retiring to prepare yourself. You prepare yourself. When you prepare yourself that you are going for retire, you are not to start when you are at 65. You start when you are 40.
Yes.
At 40, 50, or 60, you'll be able to have your own land, your own property, and your children will be grown up. You have something, let's say, probably you buy a land for them, you buy a plot for them. So you tell this, John, go to that land. Wachila, go to that land, somebody go to that one, and you see, you feel you're good. Okay. But if you don't have it, and you are old, unless you hang yourself, you're not happy.
Now, what do you do in retirement?
Well, when I'm, you know, let's say, here in Kenny, it's very different from Nyeri. You know, Kenny, you meet people coming from Nakuru, from Muranga, from Wapi, from Wapi. You meet them from various. To come here and you know one another, it will take time. That's one. 2, now I am in Weomereli parish, and probably our minister is a young boy, a young man, a young lady. You don't understand me, I don't understand him. It is because how he or she is behaving is not what I'm
used to.
I used to.
Okay.
So I enjoy because here in Kenny, or in this presbytery, we call it Ken West Presbytery, I enjoy it because the ministers who are there, I enjoy them because they receive me as an old minister. Okay. And they receive me as a retired minister. But it's only to say I'm a retired minister. But when they're working, they engage me with a lot of work. Okay. So I'm happy about it.
So you're happy about the working relationship between you and the active ministers. Yeah. You know, work aside in the church, what else do you do? Farming?
It's only farming because now I've got a cow here, still grazing here. I got some trees, fruit trees here. I have got some apples. And we are two on it, with me and with my wife, and that is enough for me.
Okay. So, there is the issue of working relationship, and you know, retired ministers sometimes feeling that they are not fully engaged by the active ministers. What do you think about it, and what would be your word of advice to the active ministers?
Well, this the what's the problem in this church? Because the gap between an old minister and a young minister, it brings a lot of problem. Because and even in the parish, old ministers and young ministers, this problem is there, circulating there. And even in the eldership, you see those who are being ordained as elders today, and the old elders, they don't much to get together. They don't. But I would advise them to be prepared. Even an elder should be prepared that in near future he is going to retire.
Yes.
Now to retire doesn't mean that he's dying, and he should be to stand as a church, as a post of the church. So to me, I would say that retiring, someone to prepare himself. That's one. Okay. Two, the current ministers and the retired minister in the parish, they should work together. Because how will you tell our people that you are retired? You know, even this one retirement, we need to remove it. You see, come out with a retired minister. No, it should be a senior minister. Yeah. We should do away with the retirement. We say a senior minister, because the translation of interpretation of the word retired minister, it means you are useless. But if you are a senior, they will be able to come to me and ask me for an advice.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would ask the current ministers to use the word senior ministers, senior elders, than retired. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. And
Yeah.
it's good to hear from that.
Yeah.
And you could be the only minister in a very unique position to have had the privilege to have in two denominations in the life of ministry.
And even today, when they talk, they talk of Wachira. They talk of Wachira. Oh, you see, even those who are dying, they write, I was baptized by Wachira. Even some have written that I was baptized by Wachira. It is because of enjoying Wachira.
And you did not accept to go after retirement in PCA. You did not accept taking up an active position in the PCA. That's very interesting.
You know, let me tell you, brother. When we were with President Nyayo, there was a fight between Bishop Kahehia
and
Mugesha.
Yes.
Mugesha was complaining to Kahehia that Kahehia is putting away all the young people. Now, example is Jacob Wachira. And they were called in Nakuru. Kahehia was given a car. Mugesha was given a car. And they didn't compromise, they didn't go together. Then it came a time Moi said that I want to see Wachira. That Wachira you are talking. Then they asked him, why? Because I want to talk to Wachira to go back to AIPCA. Now, the problem was he called Igato, the Moderator General Assembly. He asked him that we want back level to Wachira to go back to AIPCA in order to have an agreement between this and this.
To neutralize the fight.
The Igato said no. Wachira is not an independent person, he is a PCA. And he would agree to go back. And I was consulted, I said no. I want to remain a PCA, from PCA.
Okay. Oh, that is very interesting.
And you know, even you know, there was someone who was the Minister for Internal Security. He was Kanyi Waithaka.
Kanyi
Waithaka was told by now to go and see Wachira. And they consult Wachira, whether Wachira would come back go
to AIPCA. Then
he tell Kahehia to retire, Mugesha to retire, Wachira to take up the church. When Waithaka came to me, I told, let's talk about our friendship with you. But more about the church, no.
No.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Because no, I'm ordained. You are not ordained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for
Yeah,
that
yeah.
interesting narrative and your background and history and your service to the church. And
Yeah.
we are always happy to come across ministers who have retired and are comfortable in their retirement.
Yeah.
And can be considered to be consultants.
Yeah.
Probably we can, rather than say senior minister, we can say the consultants in the church and in the ministry.
Yeah,
And
it's good to just to remove the word retirement.
retirement.
They are retired.
Okay, okay.
Retired. They say that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. And
Yeah.
viewers, we come to the end of our interview with Reverend Jacob Wachira Kimotho in Uyomereri, Laikipia County. And see you in the next episode of The Legends. God bless you.